everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to Thriller Thursday. So in today's video I'm going to be talking about the Salem Witch Trials. I say this in every video and I'm going to continue to say it, but I mean no offence by making these videos, they're just for educational and awareness purposes. So the history of witches and witchcraft is supposedly very dark, and the idea of witches and witchcraft is not thought of the way that they are today throughout history. There was a time where if you shown even the slightest sign of you being a witch, it would end in you being prosecuted or even killed, and that's without any real concrete evidence. And from 1692 to 1693, this is exactly what happened in Salem, Massachusetts. Back in the 17th century, witches were accused of selling their souls to the devil in order for assistance. So that is how they were thought to have gotten their gifts. It was thought that they were actually hired by the devil in order to accomplish magical deeds. It was thought that they were able to transform from humans into animals, and these animals were their familiar spirits. So the witch trials began in 1692 in the village of Salem in Massachusetts, after a 9-year-old girl, Elizabeth Parris, and a 11-year-old girl, Abigail Williams, who were daughters and nieces of the minister of Salem, Samuel Parris. And these two girls had started to get very ill. They had regular fits, they had high temperatures, outbursts of screaming, and a lot of other really odd behaviours. So they had a local doctor, Dr. William Griggs, come to take a look at the girls, and what he diagnosed them with was bewitchment. And this was actually a real diagnosis back then. It basically means that you've had some sort of black magic put onto you. After this, several local girls claimed to be possessed by the devil, and that someone had put black magic onto them, and they accused some local women of witchcraft. In late February, arrest warrants were issued. The Parris family's Caribbean slave Tituba, along with 2 other women, one of which was a homeless banker named Sarah Good and another poor woman named Sarah Osborne. After this, a special court gathered in Salem to hear the cases of the women that were being accused of witchcraft. The very first woman to be convicted was a woman named Bridget Bishop, and she was actually hung that June on Gallows Hill in Salem. In August, 5 more were hung, and in September, 8 more were hung. And 7 accused witches died in prison awaiting their trial. An elderly man named Giles Corey was actually pressed to death with stone after refusing to plead guilty or not guilty. 18 more were hung on Gallows Hill, while 150 more men and women, mostly women and children as well, were also accused within the following months. The 3 accused women actually appeared in court for their trial, and the 2 accusers, the young girls who were ill and had all these odd outbursts, were also there. And this made the villagers more scared, having the witches there and the victims as well suffering. Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne both denied everything, but Tituba actually confessed. But I will add that she confessed after them basically begging her to. Many people believe that she confessed as she thought that she may have got a lighter punishment and wouldn't be sent to death. She said she had been visited by the devil and made a deal with him. In the 3 days of her specific testimony, she said how she's been visited by the devil's animal familiars, and also a tall dark man from Boston who made her sign Satan's book. She also claimed to have seen the names of Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne and many other people in this book, and it was believed that she was just trying to feed them information to get a lighter punishment. However, many accused witches like Tituba also confessed to this, as they were worried for what their punishments would be if they didn't. The weird thing is, even children were getting accused, and Sarah Good's daughter Dorothy Good, and she actually confessed and said that she saw her mum Sarah Good talking with the devil himself. People in the village already thought that Dorothy was a bit crazy, as she would go around biting people like an animal. Dorothy actually went to jail, becoming the youngest person to get jailed during the Salem Witch Trials at the young age of 5. One thing is, because she was 5, she probably didn't even know what she was confessing to. Children obviously have a wild imagination, and this is probably what she had. Dorothy was visited by Salem officials when she claimed that she had a snake, like a pet snake, who her mum gave to her, and this snake used to talk to her and apparently also used to suck blood from her finger. They automatically believed this snake was her familiar, which is believed to be a witch's servant in animal form. Dorothy also had a younger sister who Sarah Good actually gave birth to in prison, but sadly died shortly after birth. So Gallows Hill was a wooden ledge on top of a hill looking out over the village and all the houses in the village. They believed that this was a sensible place for public execution, as everyone could then see this happening. It would scare them, so they would then not do anything wrong to be put up there. Most of the villagers did disagree with the Salem Witch Trials, but were too afraid to speak up because of Gallows Hill, because it was overlooking their homes and they could see what they were doing, and they didn't want to be put up there, because they would automatically think that they're a witch. By September 1962, the public turned on the concept and the idea of the Salem Witch Trials. The Massachusetts General Court tried to fix everything with the families that have lost people, but obviously this anger still remained and still does to this day. So this is actually quite a sad story, as it all starts with 2 girls who had an illness, which is now to be believed as an illness caused from fungus on bread, but it's not 100% certain. But people believe that they were actually just sick and it caused the lives of so many. And that is everything for this case. So obviously it's pretty much unsolved, as people don't know whether it's true or not. So many people think that witches didn't exist. Well, obviously the Salem Witch Trials are true, but people don't know whether witches existed or not, still do today. Some people believe it and some people don't. So let me know what you think down below, and any other cases you would like me to cover. If you enjoyed, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.